So today we're going to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. We're now on episode 38 of the series, and in the last episode we saw the fascist Brazilian rebellion. We saw Arabia do a funny over in Arabia. We saw the Neo-French Union form, and we also saw India take a hold of the dire financial situation of some countries and are helping them out. And as you can see, the map looks different. I added some lakes because I just felt like it, to be honest. I also added a terrain layer, so now you can see the terrain of the area, and I also made the ocean a darker color. I did keep to my word. I did not make it as dark as Alton did it. And I think this is better overall, so yeah, let's get started. Now let's talk about India for a moment. They are helping a lot of countries out, which is pretty good. And now they've kind of started to get some trade deals with a lot of these countries, which are really helping them boost their economy. Basically what I'm saying, if India kind of dies, those countries are cooked, and it would hurt the economy of the world a lot. So let's hope that India does not have an economical crash. Foreshadowing. Arabia is now gonna declare war on this eastern Yemen country because that's the only weak target they have left. Like, sure, there's this Omani country over here, but then you'd be messing with India, and I don't think Arabia wants those hands. So let's see how this war goes with the blue Yemeni country. So, Arabian troops start to enter into the country of eastern Yemen, and this country doesn't stand a chance. Arabia is way stronger than them, and these guys, they were focusing more on, establishing themselves and helping their economy and stuff, so they weren't really prepared for a dire situation like this. So Arabia manages to cut them in half, and this half over here capitulates, and the northern half over here capitulates. Now let's take a look at this peace treaty, which you'd probably guess. Well, what do you know? Arabia is at it again, fully annexing these countries, and this border looks horrible. For the sake of our eyesight, I made this orange team give away a province over to Arabia. So yeah, that's about it for that. Next up, China is going to do their usual shtick again and invade another country. They're not going to invade their ally. They're not going to invade this country. They're not going to invade Vietnam, and why would they invade India? They're not going to invade this country because they will lose a lot of resources is doing that. Which leaves little Taiwan over here. And Taiwan has serious beef with these guys. They despise New China. So when this happens, then Taiwan is not surprised at all. Quickly, the island of Taiwan is fully captured, and New China offers to stop there and let the rest of the country thrive in the Philippines. But Taiwan is not going to accept that offer. They hate China with their guts, and they're not going to agree to any concession. So, begrudgingly, China's going to have to continue the invasion into the Filipino islands. So, the Chinese Navy moves over to the northern area of the Philippines. They make a naval landing over here, cutting off this area of the Philippines from the rest of Taiwan. Next up, China is gonna make a naval landing over in this island, and then they're gonna island hop to this one, capturing the major city over here, and then squeezing the Taiwanese out of the main Filipino island. And now they're gonna make a naval invasion of this island, and then China's gonna make another naval landing except on the southern island, and they're gonna snake their way into this major city, almost fully capitulating the island, and now they fully capitulate the southern island. And it's now apparent to the Taiwanese that maybe they should have accepted the offer, but they have a fiery spirit, and they won't ever concede to New China. But in the end, and the country capitulates, as now forced into a peace deal with China. And in this peace treaty, Taiwan becomes fully Filipino. And until Taiwan reclaims the actual island, I'm gonna call Taiwan the Philippines till they get the island back. So yeah, China got a bit more land than what they wanted, but the only slight interest they had in this region was like the northern area of the Philippines, so that they could control who like came through here. So yeah, W for New China, not such a W for Taiwan though. Next up, we're gonna see an interesting event occur over in Indonesia. You see this Sumatran country, which I'm gonna call Aceh because the country's capital isn't Aceh. Now, well, this country, they're doing well. Like they're just doing their own thing. They haven't done anything for a while. And then Java offers to unite with them, and Aceh doesn't see any downsides to this apart from converting the foreign currency to the Javan currency. But that's the only problem they'll have to deal with. So yeah, these two countries are uniting and are becoming one. Woohoo! And that about looks like that. Good to see unions following up. Hopefully, an era that will be very bad for the world doesn't happen. That will cause this country to enter into panic. Foreshadowing. Next up, we're gonna see India annex this orange country into them. Now you might be wondering, why did this just suddenly happen? Well, basically, the orange country was not in the best of places, as they kind of had a ruler who didn't really do a good old job, which caused the country to spiraling out of control. And so India offered to take them in, and that was just an offer couldn't resist. And in actuality, we're going to continue in this area. Why? Because a certain someone found out that this certain country is a dictatorship, and India doesn't like that. So India is going to make the treacherous task to invade this country through the Himalayan mountains. And after a while, they capture the capital, and they just don't see a point in continuing on, wasting a lot of their troops they could need for a future event. So the Lime country is gonna surrender. Let's take a look at this peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, we see the Lime team gets bullied even more, or as India took some land away from them, and turned them into a democracy. And this country is like, gulp. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, the Turkish Union has advanced in their nuclear program. Now they no longer have just one nuke. They now got 5. They are really ramping up here. But interestingly, now they have 4. or the Turkish Union somehow mistakenly sent a nuke somewhere in their land where it wasn't supposed to go. And now that nuke has been stolen by who knows. So the Turkish Union is gonna try to find the culprit, and they won't be so happy when they do find out. But yeah, let's move on. Now, for the last event in this video before the big one, we're gonna see a little bit more countries join their respective side. These 4 countries join Norway's alliance. Commies unite here type thing, because I'm Mongolia, they're not communists. And by the way, if you're wondering what the red team is gonna join, well, they're not gonna join one right now, but they are leaning more towards the triangles and the 6 stars. That's all I'll say. Now let's talk about the big event here. So, now we're gonna talk about the big fish. The big event, you could say. Well, Wales is still puzzled at what the flip happened in Brazil. So, they're gonna send some spies over to the Brazilian capital to see what they can find. They hope that it's not anything too bad per se, and that just Brazil locked the fuck in the war. So Wales send the spies over to the capital, and what they find isn't so pretty. And know how Brazil was getting funded by a country, and they just didn't know who it was? Well, now we're gonna know. And I'll give you 30 seconds to figure out who it is. Boom, 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 boom. Boom bum 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 bum. It was Prussia. Yeah, it was Prussia. Wales is gonna be like, yo, what the frig? And Prussia's like, hey, we had everything to gain. You would have done the same thing to us if you had the chance. Don't even try the victimizing here. And Wales are gonna complain about Prussia's response to Norway. And Norway is like, dude, stop it. And then Norway sends over a diplomat over to Prussia to maybe talk things out. And you see that the diplomat has, like, weirdly enough, had some soldiers around him for, like, protection, so for, like, no assassinations would happen, kind of like bodyguards. And a Prussian general thought that the Prussian general did an oopsie. The Prussian general ordered a small army to deal with the diplomat. Yeah, pretty dumb, but it's gonna get worse. This stupid Prussian general thought that was invading troops from Norway, and for some reason he didn't ask the king of Prussia about this. He was like, oh, it's gotta be invading forces. Let's shoot these guys. Shots are fired, and the diplomat is killed. And Norway is like, you did what? And Prussia's like, hey, it's not our fault. It's the general. We'll just fire him. Norway's like, oh no. Well, I've had enough of this. You keep doing a bunch of stuff to us 6 stars and keep getting away with it. You are insufferable. It's time we get our own payback. What's that payback, you may be asking? Norwegian troops cross the border and enter into Prussian territory. They swiftly push back and capture a major city which isn't being shown here because I'm too lazy to turn on the layer on. But Prussia gets fully kicked out of their Swedish territory. And this, my friends, marks the start of World War II, the War of Ideals. Hope you're ready. Thank you guys so much for enjoying episode 38 of What If Civilization Started Over. Please leave a like and subscribe. Smash the notification bell, smash the like button, and smash the subscribe button. And I'll see you on the flip side.